So anyway, we don't need to come back. I think he'll be fine.
Hi, I wonder if I will ever start a vlog not in a rush, but we do it again right now. I'm on my way to work, but I wanted to just start this. Current reading is Journal of a Solitude by May Sarton, and I'm reading that alongside Jessica from Jessica's Book Stack on Instagram. I started it yesterday and I'm about halfway through, so I'm breezing through it. It's diary entries over 1 year. And it, like, diary entry form always makes it really a fast read for me. Getting ready to run to work. Anyways, it's forecasted to rain, so we are getting ready for that. Okay, gotta go. Bye. It's really cold. Get that bone. Get that bone. Jacob Hamoud. Jacob Hamoud. Jacob. Mm-hmm.
Good boy. Yes, spontaneous breakfast.
Yeah. Hi, we are back from a performance. We had a show tonight, and it's time to drink some wine and have dinner. So we're drinking a rosé, Pinot Noir rosé from Villa Wolf. Says it's a German one. Says it's half dry, which we normally don't like, but the woman that sold it to me said that I shouldn't be put off by that and that I should try it anyway, and that it's like slightly sweet in the right way. So wish us luck with that. Have anything you want to say? What's on your mind? What's on your heart?
That I am exhausted by managing parenthood and being a performing artist.
Yes.
But I'm gonna enjoy a glass of wine.
Yes, you are.
Microwave dinner.
Here it comes. Wine in a glass.
Some serious lapels. On the floor, by the door.
Hi, Merry Christmas. If you are someone who celebrates Happy Hanukkah, or just Happy Saturday. I am here, can I sit? Ohad and I are here in Rome, in my parents' place, for a week about. Welcome to our new location for the vlog. I wanted to update you that I'm still reading Journal of a Solitude by May Sarton. Yeah, I think it's from like September to September. It's like really a year that she writes for, and I'm in May, May 6th. Yeah, enjoying it, really enjoying it. Like, I think I was expecting to love it even more. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I just had like really, really high expectations about how I would feel reading it. And she does, you know, the language is really beautiful. She's a poet, if you're not familiar with her. I haven't read her poetry actually, but you can feel that she's a poet writing this. And she has just some really honest, raw and beautiful reflections on life and being alone and being in solitude, about writing, about creating art. So it's definitely like has a lot about it that I love. I think I'm just a tad bit underwhelmed just because I kind of built it up in my mind as it was going to be like my favorite book about craft, the best book I ever read or something. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm reading this again, like I mentioned earlier, with Jessica, and she wrote me like the perfect sentence. She was like, this book makes me feel like I'm around people too much. And that's like totally the feeling I get. And with someone who has like social anxiety and also can get like very, very exhausted just by, I don't know, being around other people and just taking in a lot of other energies, I can get like quite depleted, even when they're people that I absolutely love and I love to spend time with. So I really relate to a lot of the things that she's exploring in this book. I wonder if I should share with you some books I got this morning. Maybe I'll do a more in-depth haul video at some point, because I feel like these are not the only books I'm going to take back with me. This always happens. There are great bookstores also in Rome. So I'll probably do that later, but I got these from my family for Christmas. This is A Horse at Night on Writing by Amina Kane. I'm so excited to read this. And then they got me 3 books from the New York Review of Books sale that everyone was like going crazy for. And so they got me 3 from that sale. This is Woman Running in the Wood. What? Woman Running in the Mountains by Yuko Tsushima. Introduction by Lauren Groff. As you know, the covers on these are just gorgeous. So that one I'm really excited about. Don't Look Now by Daphne du Maurier. Stories selected and with an introduction by Patrick McGrath. Daphne du Maurier wrote Rebecca, which is, I guess, her most famous novel. These are short stories. I just love the cover on that. And then I really wanted to read my first Eve Babbitt. So this is Slow Days, Fast Company, The World, the Flesh, and LA. Introduction by Matthew Spector. So this is gonna be cool girl living in LA, taking us through the 60s and 70s glam life. Planning on finishing the May Sarton today. And then, yeah, I'll just come back to you when I do that, and we'll see. I'm gonna take oh, especially after, except there's no So I've come to just conclude that I finished Journal of a Solitude. I read it on my Kindle, and it's in a bundle of like all of May Sarton's journals. So the first one being Journal of a Solitude, and then Planned Dreaming Deep, and then Recovering. I don't know if I'll read, like I won't read those two now, I think, but I'm glad that I have them if I ever want to come back to it. Overall, I just wrote a little thing on Instagram. I'm really bad at reviewing books on Instagram. I would rather talk about them here, but I want to try to write sometimes a few lines that I can just think out a little more than like this forum where I'm just like babbling and not making any sense. That I really liked this book a lot, but I didn't like love it as much as I thought I would. But there's definitely like so many really beautiful just reflections on what it means, what the inner life means, and how you can dive into knowing yourself, and learning about yourself and questioning yourself, and sometimes your own behavior or your own depression or fatigue or anger like is a mystery to you, and I found that so interesting. And I think if you have a knack or an interest in gardening, you would like really love this. That's not me. Like, I don't have a garden. I don't really desire to garden. I mean, I love to look at a beautiful garden or eat food from that someone grew, but it's just like I don't have an inclination for that. So I think if you do, and you're familiar with a lot of plants and flowers and such, you would get like a whole other richness to this book that I just didn't like, I wasn't so connected to. But there's two sections that I really loved. One is like a part where she's like waking up in the middle of the night because a raccoon is like trying to eat things from her porch in the middle of the night. And so she's got these like interactions with this raccoon. And that was like so funny and like painted such like an interesting picture, like a hilarious picture to me. And then also like this group of friends that she would meet in another home, and they would kind of like read to each other. And she mentions that like a lot of her first kind of like tryouts for books she read there, and I thought that was so nice. Like she would say, in the evenings we read aloud. Many of my books have been first heard here in manuscript in the cavernous big room before a log fire. Someone lying on the bare rug, Anne on the sofa, and other guests scattered about beyond the bright ring of light shed by the Aladdin lamp. This is a far more rewarding way of publishing a work than when it finally comes to Nelson in bound and printed copies 6 months later. And I love that. Like, it's a more rewarding way of publishing your work is by like sharing it with friends around a fire. Interesting things about gender, and she has an interesting passage where she talks about how she thinks like creativity really lies in the middle ground between feminine and masculine. And as someone who like feels very much existing like in the middle of that spectrum, it was really beautiful that she kind of said that that's kind of one of the most creative places to be, if you can find your version of center between those two energies. One moment, I'm being called. Also really talks about her kind of depressive nature and how she can have these bouts of like anger that she like just like lashes out on people that she loves, and also just that is hard for her relationships in life, and she doesn't know where the source of that anger comes from, and asking a lot of questions about where that's rooted, and you know, does it come from being kind of overloaded with the responsibility of other people's energy, that she's really a person who needs time alone, and also that time alone is connected so deeply to her work, which is to write poetry, and that if she has that time and space, then she can focus on that work, and also that work gives her like a stability, and also like the question whether you can create art from a joyous place, because, you know, we kind of know that thing where like the best art comes from like turmoil or depression or dark periods, which she definitely feels like also in herself. So she's asking that, like, can art be born from joy? And she's wondering about it in her own work. So there's a lot of amazing things in this book. And of course she writes sentences like, I feel like a river when the tide changes, and for a while the water flows in cross current with no direction, only a pulling from all sides. So it's very evocative. Yeah, like I must say there were sections where I was just like sort of skimming. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm really happy I read it because it was so highly spoken of by a lot of my favorite bookish people. And I can see the appeal, absolutely. So if it sounds interesting to you, definitely give it a try. I would love to read her poetry. That's all. I think I'll end it here because I'm deep in holiday, you know, festivities with family, and I don't want to like drag this vlog on for too long. So thanks for watching. Maybe you'll have another video soon from here. Let's see. Anyway, bye. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.